advanced children, how not having access to a midwife of the mind, that is a druid or druidess or a May queen, will influence your chance or your child's chance to reincarnate. What type of background, old world background your child will have, a little bit about color blindness, twins, left-handedness. Of course you get a +1 to offensive value when you're fighting humanoids, because left-handed characters are more difficult to fight. Ambidexterity, and of course how your children might inherit not only your blessings, gained often from Humming, but also the flaws that might be gained from bad Humming. If you want to be picky about it, how does color blindness, how you inherit it? Hair and eyes, you can use a simple version, or you can use the thing that you should have been taught in your biology classes. So here, if you have a parent with 2 dominant traits and another parent with 2 dominant traits, you get a child with dominant traits. And here you have dominant and intermediate. You get a little bit, so blah blah blah. Yeah. And of course, if you inherit the dominant and the intermediate, you still get the dominant trait. You can use the same system for hair, and here you have, if you want to add other features, you can do that, because the Thulians have green, blue or grey eyes, but of course other creatures exist too. Height, how your child will be, or how the child's height will be influenced by the height of the parents. Another main feature, spiritual afflictions. You might be familiar with a game called Call of Cthulhu, where you become insane in the end. And here you have a system for that. You can become traumatized, and you can gain different spiritual afflictions. And this is here you can see the cause of the affliction, and if you are, let's say, exposed to one of these, you have to test an ability score to see if you, and on a critical failure, you will acquire the spiritual affliction. For example, if you just encounter a troll or an ettin, you have to test your intelligence to see if you start having nightmares afterwards. And if you do have nightmares afterwards, here you have it, you cannot sleep without experiencing horrifying dreams. You may wake screaming. Whenever a character has encountered a troll or ettin, he must test his intelligence, and on a critical failure, he suffers from nightmares until cured. See I cannot read it here. See hallucinatory madness and hysteria if he was also drained, exposed to ettin radiation. And if you suffer from nightmares, you will only be able to rest properly when you sleep if you score a semi-success, at least, on a willpower test. So, they have direct mechanical effect. And you have all sorts of different, you have hysteria, hallucinatory madness, delirium, compulsions, catatonia, amnesia, mania, melancholia, obsession, fixation, paranoia, phobia, split personality, and a violent frenzy. And you can cure the spiritual afflictions. And indeed, it is easier to hurt than to heal. Normal living expenses, because you will spend some time on downtime activities, and how you can get a normal employment for a character if you want to. Or if the Game Master, if your characters encounter an NPC and the Game Master quickly needs to determine what type of trade he has. Well, let's say this dwarf was a carpenter. And there are different trades for different demo-humans, as well as for male humans and female humans. Another main feature, parasites. There is now a chance that your character can be infected with parasites. and you can be affected by going into bog terrain. If you, let me see here, for example, if you swim in sewers or stagnant ponds, or dig through carrion, compost, or trash, if you eat raw or undercooked fish, meat, or organs, if you swim in or drink unboiled water from streams in or running from Jotunheimer, or if you consume spoiled rations or scavenged food from orcs or foreign creatures. If you handle corpses or share bed or equipment, blah blah blah. All sorts of reasons that you might be infected with parasites. And also corporeal trolls, other than skeletons of course, as well as anhulders, as well as frost etins, now has a chance to infect you with parasites. And this is the main cause of the weakened condition. Because if you suffer from parasites, you become weakened. There are also some spells that will weaken you, but this is the main reason. You can also, if the game master wants to include even more realism, you can have a severe parasitical infection. Advanced factions. Now the Refesheka, the chief commission merchant leading the commission league, is actually a shaman. And he can cast 2 orc spells. He can cast the following orc spells 2 times a day. Corruption of life, corrupt magic, which is basically dispel magic, and snake shape, so he can turn into a venomous snake and wiggle about. In addition to their other subversive activities, they now both work together with a common goal to destroy all Thulian magic, as well as enchanted items and spellcasters alike, and even those with the power in them to give birth to new Thulian spellcasters. Some new foreign creatures have been added. You had the Arbi in the expert rules and the commission, but now you also have the Asu and the Libue. You have the Savage in the basic rules, and I took all the information about these and added it here. So now you have all these in one place, which is a lot more practical. Arbis, Libue, Asu, Savage, and so forth. And here you have a little description of each foreign creature. And the savages. And they have shamans, of course. A little bit about how advanced trolls can give you parasites, a little bit about how frost etins can give you parasites, and a little bit about the intelligent worms that would be dragons, and how they might actually be able to cast spells. Yes, and their stats, of course, the foreign creatures.